Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about the multiple choice question and answer from the subject discrete time signal processing and digital signal processing. Okay, so in this video, so we are going to discuss about the topic signal processing or the basics of DSP we are going to see. Okay, so we will see the first question. Which of the following is done to convert a continuous time signal into discrete time signal? Modulating, sampling, differentiating, integrating. So which of the following in order to convert the continuous time signal x of t into discrete signal x of n, we have to use the process. It is called as a sampling. So sampling already you know, sampling it's a process of converting the continuous time signal x of t into discrete time signal x of n. So sampling is the correct answer. Then the next one, the process of converting discrete time continuous valued signal into discrete time discrete valued signal is known as dash. So the discrete time continuous valued signal, it is called as that is x of n. So x of n, that is the discrete signal into digital signal. So what is the process used for converting the discrete time signals into discrete time discrete valued signal? It is called as a quantization. So the quantization, it's a process of converting, that is each sample value is the each sample value, it is converted into the digital signal zeros and ones. It is called as the quantization. Okay, the next one, the difference between the unquantized x of n and quantized x q of n is known as dash. So the difference between the quantized output, unquantized input, the difference between x q of n and x of n, it is known as quantization coefficient, quantization ratio, quantization factor, quantization error. Quantization error. So the difference between the x q of n, that is quantized output, and unquantized input. So the difference between these two signal, it is called as the quantization error. Okay. The next one, the relation between analog frequency omega and digital frequency this omega is dash. So what is the relation between the analog frequency? You know, generally we are using for frequency, we are using this term W, okay, this omega, but there is a differentiation is there in analog and digital. So always the analog frequency is mentioned by this ohm symbol. The digital frequency is represented by this omega. Okay, this W omega. So what is the relation between the analog frequency and digital frequency means? So here the analog frequency equal to digital frequency into T, where T is a sampling period. Digital frequency equal to analog into T, no relation, none of the mention. So the B is the answer. The digital frequency omega, which is equal to the analog frequency multiplied with the sampling period. This is the relation between analog and digital frequency. Okay. Then the next one, what is the output signal when a signal x of t equal to cos 2 pi 40 t is sampled with a sampling frequency of 20 hertz. Okay. So here, what is the question means? The question is that what is the discrete signal obtained after a process sampling? So in a sampling process, this is the sampler you just consider. For the sampler, we are applying the continuous signal, this x of t. This x of t is applied as an input to this sampler. So sampling process, you know, the sampling process means it's a process of converting the continuous time signals into the discrete signal x of n. It is called as a sampling. So here question is that what is the output signal of this sampler when the input is this one with the sampling frequency is 20 hertz. So already we studied this question in signals and system also in a sampling process. Okay. So what is the procedure means? In order to convert the continuous time signal x of t into the discrete signal x of n, you just replace this continuous variable t. Okay. So you see this t, this small t is a continuous variable. This continuous variable t, you just replace it with n divided by fs, where n is the discrete time variable and fs is the sampling frequency. So in a given x of t equation, you just replace this continuous variable t by n divided by fs, means we will get the discrete signal. So you see here x of t equal to cos 2 pi 40 t. So you just substitute 2 pi 40 into t. So instead of t, you just substitute n divided by fs. So what is the fs? The sampling frequency is given as 20 hertz. So you just replace cos 2 pi 40 into n divided by 20. So if you are cancelling, we will get the answer as a x of n equal to cos 4 pi n. So here the cos 4 pi n, answer C. This C is the correct answer. Okay. So in order to convert the continuous signal into discrete signal, you just replace t with n divided by fs, where fs is the sampling frequency. Okay, that's all. The next one, if f is the frequency of analog signal, then what is the minimum sampling rate required to avoid aliasing? So in a sampling, if the sampling frequency is not selected properly, means we will get one error. It is called as the aliasing. Okay, so the overlapping of the adjacent spectrum, it is called as a aliasing. So in order to avoid aliasing, we have to follow the sampling theorem in a proper manner. Okay, so that is the sampling frequency fs, it should be greater than or equal to twice the fm. So here, if f is the frequency of analog signal, means what is the minimum sampling rate in order to avoid the aliasing? It is 2 into f. Okay, at least we have to select the sampling rate twice the frequency of our analog signal. So 2 into f. So according to the Nyquist rate, to avoid aliasing, the sampling frequency should be equal to twice the analog frequency. Okay, so 2 into f. This is the correct thing. Then the next one, what is the Nyquist rate of the signal x of t equal to 3 cos 50 pi t plus 10 sin 300 pi t minus cos 100 pi t. So Nyquist rate, what is mean by Nyquist rate? Means the minimum sampling rate used to sample the particular signal, it is called as the Nyquist rate. So already you know the Nyquist rate f is equal to 2 into fm. Okay, so in a sampling frequency, the minimum sampling frequency, it is called as the Nyquist rate. So Nyquist rate f is equal to twice the frequency of the message signal. So here you see the x of t consisting of addition and subtraction of three signal. So one cosine signal of some frequency, this is one sine signal, this is one cosine signal. So in this three signal, so the Nyquist rate, okay, the Nyquist rate is calculated by twice the fm, where fm is the maximum frequency of the given signal. So here x of t signal consisting of three different frequency component. So out of this three frequency component, which one is the highest frequency? We have to find out that frequency multiplied by 2. It is said to be the Nyquist rate. Okay. So here, if you are comparing the first signal, the 3 cos 50 pi t with the standard cosine signal, you know, what is the standard cosine waveform? A cos 2 pi ft. So if you are comparing, we will get the frequency f is equal to f1 is equal to 25 hertz. Similarly, if you are comparing the second signal, the frequency of the second signal is 150 hertz. For the third signal cos 100 pi t, the frequency is 50 hertz. So out of this three frequency, so we have to measure the maximum. We have to take the maximum value. So the maximum value of 25 hertz, 150 hertz, 50 hertz is the maximum value is 150. So f max is equal to 150. So according to the sampling theorem, so the Nyquist rate, what is meant by Nyquist rate? Nyquist rate is equal to twice the maximum value of frequency. So 2 into f max. So what is f max? 150. So 2 into 150, 300 hertz. Okay. So the Nyquist rate for the given signal is 300 hertz. This is the answer. Then similarly, you see the next question. What is the discrete time signal obtained after sampling the analog signal x of t equal to cos 2000 pi t plus sine 5000 pi t at a sampling rate of 5000 samples per second? Okay. So these are the 4 answers given. So which one is the correct answer? We have to find out. Okay. So from the given thing, the analog signal consisting of 2 frequency component. So the first frequency, the frequency of the first signal, it is that cos 2000 pi t. So cos 2000 pi t means if you are comparing it with cos 2 pi ft, the frequency f is 1000. Okay, so the frequency of the first signal is f1 equal to 1000 hertz. Similarly, the frequency of the second component is 2500 hertz. Okay, so here the sampling rate is given as 5000 samples per second. So this 5000 is nothing but fs. Okay, sampling rate fs is 5000 is given. So what is the question means? What is the discrete time signal we have to obtain? So in order to convert that signal, continuous time signal into discrete signal, so already I discussed, instead of this t, okay, the continuous variable t, wherever the t is available, you just replace that t by n divided by fs. Okay, so here cos 2000 pi into n divided by 5000. Okay, so we will get a cos 0.4 pi n. Similarly, plus sine 5000 pi t divided by 5000. So 5000 cancel. So sine pi n. So the x of n signal is cos 0.4 pi n plus sine pi n. So B is the correct answer. Okay, the same question only. You just replace the time variable t by n divided by the sampling rate 5000. So we will get the answer. Okay. Then the next question, the quality of output signal from A to D converter is measured in terms of dash. The quality of output signal from A to D converter. A to D converter means, analog to digital converter is measured in terms of dash. Quantization error, quantization to signal noise ratio, signal to quantization noise ratio, conversion constant, signal to quantization noise ratio. The quality of output signal from A to D converter is measured by signal to quantization noise ratio. Okay. Then the next one, if the signal to be analyzed is an analog signal, we would pass it through an anti-aliasing filter with B as the bandwidth of the filtered signal. Then the signal is sampled at a rate dash. Okay, so the filtered signal is sampled at a rate of fs is greater than or equal to 2 into B, where B is the bandwidth of the filtered signal in order to avoid the aliasing. Okay, so that's why. So the answer is the sampling frequency fs, it should be greater than or equal to twice the bandwidth of the input signal. Then the next one, what is the highest frequency that is contained in the sampled signal? So what is the highest frequency that is contained in the sampled signal? After sampling, we will get the discrete signal. So what is the highest frequency available in the sampled signal? Means it is fs divided by 2. The sampling frequency divided by 2. This is the highest frequency available in the sampled signal. Okay. Then the next one, if x of n is the signal to be analyzed, limiting the duration of the sequence to L sample in the interval 0 to L minus 1 is equivalent to multiplying the x of n by dash. Okay, that is x of n, the signal, the x of n is the signal to be analyzed. So if you want to limit the duration of this sequence by L sample means that is equivalent to multiplying this x of n by Hazer window, Hamming window, Hanning window, rectangular window. Okay, so already the rectangular window means the window is having the magnitude 1 for the n value between 0 to L minus 1. So if you are multiplying one infinite duration sequence of or any duration sequence with this windowing sequence, we will get only the sequence is having the length 0 to L minus 1. That is L samples only available. So in order to convert the infinite samples into the finite sample sequence, you just multiply it with the rectangular window. Okay. The next question, which of the following is common independent variable for speech signal, EEG and ECG signal? So which one is a common independent variable? So time. The time is the common independent variable in speech signal, EEG signal and ECG signal. Okay. The next one, which of the following conditions made digital signal processing more advantageous over analog processing? So nowadays we are using all signal processing is done in digital manner only. Okay. So what are all the advantages of this digital signal processing over analog processing? Flexibility, accuracy, storage, all of the mention. All of the mention. Okay. So flexibility, accuracy, storage, all thing is simple in digital signal processing when compared to analog signal processing. Okay, so these are all the advantages why we are moving to digital signal processing over this analog. Okay, the next one, what are the important blocks required to process an input analog signal to get an output analog signal? Okay, so that is in one communication system, in one DSP processing, the input is analog. The analog signal is processed by so many blocks, and finally you just get analog signal as the output. So what are all the important blocks available in the duration of that process? A to D converter, digital signal processor, D to A converter, all of the mention. All of the mention. Okay, so first one, the analog signal. That is all our practical signals. So most of these signals available in nature are analog signal. Okay, so that is our input signal. So first that analog signal must be converted into digital using A to D converter. Okay, so first we have to give it to A to D converter. So the output of A to D converter is in digital format. So this digital signal is given to the DSP processor, digital signal processor. So after processing this digital signal, again we have to convert into analog. So in order to receive the signal using some loudspeaker or something, so again this digital signal we have to convert into analog using DAC, D to A converter. Okay, so A to D converter, digital signal processor, D to A converter. So all these blocks are important block in order to process analog signal to get output analog signal. Okay, the next one, which of the following block is not required in digital processing of radar signal? Okay, the digital processing of radar signal, what are all the block is not required? A to D converter, D to A converter, DSP, all of the mention. D to A converter, digital to analog converter is not required in radar signal processing. Why means in digital processing of radar signal, the information extracted from the radar signal such as position of aircraft, these things are printed on a paper. So there is a no need of D to A converter in this case. Okay. The next one, which of the following wave is known as amplitude modulated wave? Okay, so in communication we studied the modulation, it is called as amplitude modulation. So what is the amplitude modulated wave of x of t? C into x of t, where c is a constant. It's a multiplication of one constant into x of t plus y of t, x of t into y of t, dx of t divided by dt. X of t into y of t, where x of t is the signal, y of t is the carrier signal. So the multiplication of audio signal and the carrier signal, it is called as the amplitude modulated waveform. The next one, what is the physical device that performs an operation on the signal? Signal source, system, medium, none of the mention. So what is the physical device that performs operations on the signal? That is a amplification, attenuation, signal generation. So what is a physical device means? It's a system. So the system, for the system, we are giving some input, we are getting some processed output. So in order to process the signal, we need the physical device. It is called as a system. Okay. Then the next one, the interface between an analog signal and digital processor is dash. Okay. So uh, the analog signal is not given directly to digital processor, since the digital processor only process the digital signal. So in order to convert the analog to digital, we need A to D converter. So the interface between analog signal and digital processor is A to D converter. Okay, the next one, the speech signal is obtained after analog to digital conversion, digital to analog conversion, modulation, quantization, digital to analog conversion. So after processing the speech signal, again in receiving side, in order to convert the digital speech into analog, we have to use one more conversion. It is called as a digital to analog conversion. The next one, the telegraph signals are examples of digital signal, analog signal, impulse signal, pulse train. The telegraph signals are example for digital signals. Okay. The next one, as compared to analog system, the digital processing of signal allow programmable operation, flexibility in the system design, cheaper system, more reliability. Okay. So when compared to analog, the digital processing of signal allow which one? So 1, 2, 3 is a correct. 1, 2 are correct. 1, 2, 4 are correct. All the 4 are correct. Okay. So all the 4 are correct. Why we are moving for digital processing when compared to analog means the programmable operation, flexibility in the system design, cheaper and more reliability. Okay. The next one, the Nyquist theorem for sampling is which relates the condition in time domain and frequency domain, helps in quantization, limits the bandwidth requirement, gives the spectrum of signal. Okay, so in this, which one? 1, 2, 3 correct, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 correct, 1 and 3 correct, all the 4 are correct. Okay, 1 and 3 is a correct. That is the Nyquist theorem for sampling, which relates the condition in time domain and frequency domain, and also it limits the bandwidth requirement. Okay, the next one, the roll-off factor is dash. Roll-off factor, the bandwidth occupied beyond the Nyquist bandwidth of the filter, performance of the filter, aliasing effect, none of the above. The roll-off factor is nothing but the bandwidth occupied beyond the Nyquist bandwidth of the filter. Okay, that is nothing but roll-off factor. Then the next question, a discrete time signal may be samples of continuous time signal, a time series which is a domain of integer, time series of sequence of quantity, amplitude modulated wave. Okay, so a discrete time signal, it may be a sample of continuous signal, correct. Okay, discrete signal is nothing but sample of continuous time. A time series which is a domain of integer, it's also correct. The time series of sequence of quantities, correct. Amplitude modulated wave, it's not a correct. So 1, 2, 3 is the correct answer. Okay. So these are all the some of the questions we discussed about the basics of DSP and the process sampling, and related with sampling, what is Nyquist rate, what is the Nyquist theorem, and so on. Okay, A to D converter, D to A converter, and what are all the blocks involved within the DSP processor. Okay, so we will discuss. So in the next video, so we will meet with the next topic. Okay, so thanks for watching my channel, and please subscribe my channel for more videos. In the next video, we will meet. Thank you.